Ladies and gentlemen, we have some major breaking news about Avengers Doomsday. We have a closer look at Doctor Doom's Latverian Witch Coven, and Marvel has been building this army right under our noses. What if I told you that they have already revealed their identities to us? Allow me to explain. Firstly, let's talk about the witch dressed in purple. The identity of this witch should be fairly obvious to most. The most likely answer is Claire. Claire Strange is the Sorceress Supreme of the Dark Dimension, most specifically Earth 616. If you guys remember, after the post-credit scene in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, Claire was dressed in all purple and she met with Doctor Strange to recruit him to help stop the incursion that he created. Victor Von Doom must have chosen Claire to recruit Doctor Strange due to his immensely strong magical powers. Now, given the plot of Avengers Doomsday being about stopping these incursions, it would make the most sense canonically. Another theory is that it's Agatha. She is a dark witch who's in possession of the Darkhold. Now, we know at the end of the recent series Agatha all along, she chose to give up her physical body and remain as a ghost form. Maybe Doctor Doom was able to find a physical body for her. A little more far-fetched, but a slight possibility. Next, the witch dressed in black. Now this one also should be fairly obvious to those paying attention. If you pay close attention to the mask, there seems to be a pattern on the forehead in the shape of a circle. Is this random? No, it was very much intentional. This is because the identity of this witch is none other than Doctor Strange. Now you must be thinking, how? He's not even been announced to be in Doomsday yet. While that is true, here is why. At the end of Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange develops an eye on his forehead. Do you guys see the resemblance now? The circular pattern on top of the mask finally has meaning. Another question would be, why would he work with Doom? Well, let me explain. In Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, Doctor Strange did everything possible to protect the Time Stone, even if it meant handing it over to Thanos. He will do anything possible to protect Earth, even if it means working with Doom, which makes him the most plausible character, or he's someone completely new. The next one is the witch dressed in green. Now, we have already seen this witch. After the post-credit scene for Fantastic Four First Steps, we see what appears to be Doctor Doom interacting with Reed and Sue's son Franklin Richards. But what if that was not Doctor Doom, but the green Latverian witch? If you look at the appearance more closely and the mask in hand, it looks more closer to the image that we see. Now, who do I think this is? I have two ideas. My most likely answer is Sylvie. She's a variant of Loki. It would make the most sense canonically, as we already know that Loki is returning in this movie and the TVA are involved. To have dynamic tension would have a great impact on the story, not to mention her magical powers, and that she is dressed in green as Loki normally does. Moreover, she was taught by Frigga, who is Thor's mother. Frigga mentioned to Thor that she was raised by witches. Frigga could be a shout for the Orange Witch, but probably too far-fetched. My second answer is Rio, also known as Death from Agatha. She also traditionally wears green in the show. She is also a witch, and a relationship with Agatha could prove to be a factor if both of them are the Latverian witches. Personally, less plausible, but a slight chance nonetheless. Now finally, the witch dressed in orange. This is probably the most difficult one to tell. My initial thought is that it could be the Ancient One. She was a sorcerer who taught Doctor Strange how to wield magic and become the Sorcerer Supreme that he is. Just like Strange, she will do anything to protect the sacred timeline. The biggest example was when she gave the Time Stone to Bruce, despite the fact she was a protector of the Time Stone. So why wouldn't she join Doom to prevent the incursions to destroy the multiverse? My other prediction is that it might be Cynthia Von Doom. She is Victor's mother and is known as a gypsy witch, specializing with dark arts and communicating with demons and using spells. She is someone that Doctor Doom will recruit in his army of witches. My final prediction is that it could be Scarlet Witch. She is the strongest witch in the MCU, no doubt. She sacrificed herself and destroyed every copy of the Darkhold across the multiverse. She would also make sense, as she would want to redeem herself and sought to Doctor Doom to save the world from the incursions. Imagine her being the queen next to Doctor Doom. The last thing I wanted to mention is that we only have 3 revealed colors for the Latverian witches, but what if there are 6 different witches, like the 6 Infinity Stones: yellow, red, blue, orange, purple, and green? We know that Earth 616 is the main Earth in Marvel lore. I call this the 616 theory. In Infinity War / Endgame, we had 6 Infinity Stones, 1 gauntlet, and 6 colors. So imagine in Doomsday / Secret Wars, we have 6 witches, 1 Doom, and 6 colors. If this theory is correct, we could have 3 more witches, and some of the names would have to be reevaluated. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Be sure to follow and sub, and I'll see you guys in the next one.